Hey guys, gals, and NBs, I have a video today where I'm going to be using the RC-505 Mark II as a Porta Studio-esque style looper, and we're going to make it a tape style Porta Studio thing. So that's why I have the generation loss here, and we're going to be using the cloudburst and the brig. And I think it is Blank for MS, has some videos where he's using a Porta Studio and some spliced together tape so you get a loop, and he uses it as an instrument. I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be doing it in the modern realm. I'm going to be using a RC-505, obviously here, the Mark II, but and I will be using some loops that I made earlier that I put in using a Minilog XD module. So I got the XD module very recently, and to replace my keyboard version, which I really didn't like the keyboard section to it, so really didn't need the keyboard anymore. And I will say that the build quality of the module is much better than the keyboard version. It's all metal construction and it is awesome. But yeah, as you can see here from the B-roll footage, I went ahead and already made some loops off of camera here that I put into the 505. And we'll be playing this as an instrument. So the only thing you have to be really aware of if you're going to kind of follow along and do the way that I do it, you don't have to do it this way, but I have the tracks individually set up to not have loop sync, so they can be free running individual tracks basically. And we'll just go through what each of them sounds like. We'll go ahead and use the all start, which will start playing back all of the tracks. I've filled up all of the tracks with stuff. So yeah, it'll sound like nothing now because none of the sliders or the linear potentiometers are set to do anything yet. So let's just go through each of the tracks. All right, we got a drone here. I have a secondary drone on a different note here on track 4. So yeah, we got that. Then we have some stuff here. This is just a pad playing. Again, different notes here. Similar here, but a little more varied. But yeah, once we add some effects, it's going to sound really, really awesome. So let's go ahead and start with the Generation Loss Mark II here. I have it set to the Porta Studio mode, which is fitting for what I'm trying to do. And let's do with the. As you see here, this is how it's set up. It's mono in, mono out, and then the brig is creating a stereo image. Stereo image is going stereo into the cloudburst, and the cloudburst obviously creates a stereo image as well. But yeah, mono, stereo, and yeah, we'll listen to that in a second. But yeah, here's the brig by itself. And here's just with the cloudburst. All right, let's let the decay die down on that, and let's listen to it all together. So the generation loss is on, and then both the pedals are on. All right, and let me just make a song using that, and you can kind of hear what you can do with this setup. And I think that sounded absolutely awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of like an idea I've had for a while to do it using a looper. Obviously, you can use a Porta Studio to do it, but then you have to maintenance a Porta Studio. I mean, this setup is quite a bit more expensive than using a Porta Studio. I was looking on Reverb actually this morning, and you can get Porta Studios for fairly cheap. They used to be outrageous for a tape-based Porta Studio, but nowadays they're going for like $200 in working order and in decent shape, $300. Yeah, and obviously the RC-505 is gonna set you back like $600. This is fairly expensive, especially for the build quality. I'm not the biggest fan of the build quality on this thing. It's all plastic, but you know, it's held up. I've had it since these were pretty much released, or you could get them, and I've used it a lot off of camera. I use it to come up with concepts and like that. But as an instrument, because you have the multiple tracks, you have 5 of them, and you have faders for each of the tracks, you can really just use it as an instrument. And I think it sounds pretty neat to do that. It's a little more interesting than just if you're doing a live performance, for instance. It's a lot more interesting than just setting up your clips to start playing, and then you just stand there and babysit the clips or something like that. And then on top of that, you could always play an instrument live on top of having this do the loops. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's kind of the way that I do analog I should say analog style tape looping, obviously with an actual looper. But yeah, again, yeah, just wanted to share. Thanks for watching. If you like these kind of videos, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't followed me yet, go ahead and do so.